money because we are rich. So becoming rich shows up before the money shows up. Okay, what does that mean?
Tell me that you love it, yeah. Tell me something good. Tell me that you love it. Y'all come on in the room. Let's have this good conversation. The topic is focus. Y'all come on in the room. Let's have this good conversation. Y'all come on in the room. I have to seal my... Who's this? Hey, Tony. How are you? You guys already know, if you are repeat viewers of my lives, y'all come in the room, say hello. Let me know that you have been here before. And then also let the folks know who might be new in the room. Let them know that this live is going to be a good one, because it's always good. I just have to seal up my jars. But y'all let me know. Come on in. Let me know if you guys have been in my live before. If you have, let me know. Say hello. Let me know how many times you've been in. Have you been in every live? Have you... Let me turn some light on. Ooh, that changed everything. Right? And if you have, let the folks know. Yes, I just saw a heart go up. Y'all already know when you get in the room, you have to like and share. Why? Because we are a part of an algorithm that if you do not, then more people will not know about the live. And if you've been in my lives before, you know that the lives are always so good. So I encourage people all the time, stop being selfish. Share the good news. Don't sit up here, gain all this good wisdom and knowledge that I'm about to share with you and only keep it to yourself. Share, okay? I've said this in a live before. I said people always worrying about why they don't have, why they can't get, why they're always in lack. I promise you, it's because you are always in a state of lack because you won't even share a live and it's free. Jesus. You won't even share a live and it's a free option. People complain about, oh, that's too expensive. This doesn't cost you anything. Quite literally. It costs you a press of a button. So I encourage people to like and share the live. We are going to get into the topic of focus. There's been some things that God has put on my heart to share about focus. And I am multitasking today while I'm on this live because if you don't know, I do have a skincare line. I'm not promoting it right now. I'm just letting y'all know I have to seal the labels. And so that's what y'all are gonna kind of see me do. I have to seal these labels because these orders are going out today. Because Cocoa Vanilla Body Souffle is where it's at. People want to know what some good skincare is that's not harmful and all the things. Well, I make it. It's just one of my gifts, one of my talents, one of the things that God has gifted me with. And for all of us who are multi-gifted, if you know the story about the one with the 5 talents, 2 talents, 1 talent, well, I'm the one with the 5. And it took me a really long time to embrace it because I thought for a very long time, like the world tells you, that you're only allowed to focus on one thing at a time. And God said that only matters if that's how you're wired. If I didn't create you to be that way, then you have to behave the way God has created you. And I'm a multi-gifted, multi-talented person. And so it would be detrimental for somebody like me to not operate in all of my gifts. And funny enough, all of the gifts that I am gifted with all go into everything I teach as a coach. So, believe it or not, it's still all connected. Again, y'all like and share this live. Say hello. Let me know what state you're in. Let me know what city you're from if you feel comfortable sharing. and then we're going to get into the topic of focus, all right? So I'm going to give y'all a few more minutes to share. I only saw one share go out. There's a few of y'all in here that need to press share. People have to get out of this idea that you are supposed to get all of this information for free and you're not even willing to share. You're not willing to, like, seriously, y'all. And this, as a mindset coach, I'm telling you, shift your thinking right now, like in this very moment. Be a giver, okay? Don't be selfish. Be somebody who's considerate of other people. Don't just think about yourself. Think about how you can serve, you can add, you can help just by clicking a share button. And the saddest part is that usually by the time people click share, we're halfway through the live, and then y'all like, oh my gosh, I should have shared this, because it's always so good. So, and people who've been up here before, you already know I'm not lying, because I get up here and I only do what it is that God puts on my mouth to say and do. And so, yeah. Hey, okay, so you from Cali. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give y'all a few more minutes. I need to see at least 2 to 3 more shares. And I'm not joking, y'all. There needs to be a standard, okay? There needs to be a standard. And the thing is, even if I'm only in this room with only 2 people who are willing to share, I'd rather only talk to them. I promise you. This is actually why I'm creating my Discord, because I only want to talk to the people who value what I say, who value the stuff that I've been living, that I can share so that you can benefit from it. I only want to talk to those people. If you're not those people, don't come in this room. I promise you. That's not me saying it with an attitude. I promise you I say it with nothing but love. But I'm saying it because the truth is there are too many people. We live in a country where there is 95% of people who are always like this. Give me a handout. Give me. Give me what you have. Share what you know. And you should give. Y'all, Tony said, I'm sharing this live multiple times. She said, I'm going to get the 3 shares. Jesus. Tony, you carrying the team on your back. My God. Yeesh. I appreciate the shares, Tony. I really do. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. All right. Anybody else? I'm waiting for others to share the live as well. Share it with your FYP. Share it with the people that follow you. Share it on your page so we can get this information out to the most people possible. Yes, come on. Thank you, Tony. She says sharing the good news. I say she, but Tony, I'm saying she. Is that correct? Let me know, because I could be wrong. Tony is it could go either way. So let me know if I'm wrong. Because if I am, I apologize. Antoinette. Okay, I love that name. Antoinette. I love that name. Beautiful name. Okay, so then yes. So then I said it right. Either way, well, thank you, Antoinette. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for carrying the team on your back, since the folks up in this live just want to stare. They don't want to share. They just want to stare. I tell you, people don't understand. This is part of why, and I'm being honest, y'all, part of why I create private groups and I give to my students, I give to my clients, I give them everything I have, is because they're actually there with a purpose, okay? Somebody says, what information you got for me? Did you share? Did you share the live? Thank you, Pam. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Who's this? The Wolf's like, what information you got for me? Wow, coming in here just ready to take. Don't even want to give nothing. No hearts, no share, no nothing. Jesus. My goodness. I love to interact with people who are natural born givers. I love to interact with people who understand the principle of giving, especially when it's free. It's an easy give. I love to interact with people who understand the power of giving. I love to interact with people who understand the principle of giving. Come on, right? I love to share with people who understand. Whoever the wolf is like, yeah, that's right. I don't know who you are. Clearly, you are not a regular, because we don't act like that up in this room. Okay, these lives are always filled with valuable information. on a whole nother level. I've had plenty of people say in my lives, the stuff that I share up here, you cannot Google. And I'm going to tell you why you can't Google it. Because since I have not introduced myself, my name is Melanie. I am a mindset coach. I'm also a prophet of the Holy Ghost of God, of his kingdom. I sit in the office of a daughter, and God gave me the title back in December, a mindset midwife. And I said, God, I ain't never heard about that. He said, yeah, you're a mindset midwife. Why? Because I assist people in giving birth to the vision and the assignment that he's put on their life by helping them see the things that they cannot see. And so when God gives me a word, or when he gives me direction, or when he gives me something to say, I have to value it by not casting my pearls to swine. I have to value it to make sure that it lands on good ground. Now, can I guarantee that? Obviously not, right? I can't guarantee that. There's still gonna be stony ground like the wolf, right? Since he or she still wants so much attention, I'll give them a few seconds of that, right? But people just like this person, they want all of the attention, but they don't want to actually show up ready to receive the good news, right? And so in a few more seconds, the wolf is going to get blocked, and he or she won't even be in this room anyway. Because again, I do not devalue what God does for me. I do not devalue what he puts in my mouth to speak. And I do not devalue what he has put on my life to do. And so I only want to share with people who understand value. Okay? Because if you don't, then you don't even, this is the wrong room you in. Again, I have no problem talking to only 2 people. I'd rather talk to the 2. Remember, God did a lot with the few. I'd rather only talk to the 2 than talk to 5,000 people who don't care. You understand? Because you're wasting my time and my breath. I promise you that. Okay? All right. Hey, Reginald, how are you? Come on in the room. Sharine says, okay. You here? Come on now. And so y'all are going to come in the room. My name is Melanie. Like I said, I'm a mindset coach. God said I'm a mindset midwife. And what I do is I teach. I teach people based on shifting their mindsets. Why? Because no matter how many coaching classes I signed up for, no matter how many coaches I had and still have, no matter how much therapy I went to, it required a mindset shift. Okay? It required a mindset shift. Why? Because you could have the tools, which I did. You can have the skill, which I did and still have. You can have all of the other things. You can have the resources. You can have all of that. But if you do not have the mindset to navigate those tools, to have the awareness to see the access, if you don't know how to do that, it will not matter. I know everybody up here has heard of the statement by, like, if people who win the lottery, they, like, statistically, I think it's like 75 to 80% of the people who win the lottery end up going back to zero or in more debt than when they were before they won the lottery. A lot of times some people unalive themselves. A lot of times people end up in such traumatic situations. Why? Because having the resources, having the tools, having the skill is great, but if you don't know what to do with them, then what? I love the example because I do have a 2-year-old toddler. I would not give my toddler a 7-carat diamond ring. I wouldn't give my toddler a 1-carat diamond ring to just sit around and play with. Why? Because he has no idea the value that ring is. He has no idea what to do with that ring. He has no idea to even put it on his finger. He doesn't know what to do with it. Even though he's holding something in his hand that possesses and holds a lot of value, he won't know. So today we're going to specifically talk about the topic of focus. For people who are new to my lives, I love to talk back to the people that come in my life. So ask your questions, make your commentary, be healthy about it. All right, we're not going to be nasty to the people in the live. And then again, we're going to like, comment, and share. That is what we're going to do because we're going to interact, because that's the only thing that you have to offer or give in this scenario, right? I'm not asking anybody to give me any roses or nothing like that. That's not why I'm up here. I'm here to truly share this information because that's honestly the point. Anywho, we're talking about the topic of focus though. We're talking about the topic of focus because I recognize that basically the majority of the world has been duped. The majority of the world has been duped. There is an assignment that each person on this live right now, and even people who are not on this live, have to do. You have an assignment, you have a gift, you have a purpose, but it's becoming extremely difficult for you to focus on that assignment that purpose, that thing, because every time you turn around, you're either getting a text message from some random, bot, you're getting another live post that pops up on your page, you're getting a notification about something else that draws your attention away. We live in a day and age where focus is it's a skill. It's always been a skill, but now you have to have a heightened skill to focus, to lock in, to do the things that you say you're going to do. Because today is October 1st, right? And what you see, everybody posting, what do you see always on the 1st, especially on social media? Everybody talking about their goals and their list of things that they're going to do for the month of October. I challenge you to ask yourself, what did you do with the month of September? What did you do with the month of September? Now, I'm not asking you that to live in your past. What I am asking you, why I'm asking you that question, is so that you can start to hold yourself accountable for the things that you did or didn't do. If you did everything you said you were going to do, amen, let's go. You've developed some momentum. But if you haven't done the things that you said you were going to do, then you've literally created stagnation in your life. This is why focus is going to be the topic for today. Here you go. I have a toddler who needs my help. And I am going to be multitasking. You got it? So, people always want to know why they feel stagnant, why they can't get ahead, why they can't move on to where they say they want to be. Well, you have to be intentional. Truly, at the end of the day, there is a difference between people who live a very wealthy life and people who live a very impoverished life. There is a difference. One of the foundational differences is the lack of focus, for one. I think it was this hand, right? And the intense hyper focus on intentionality of where they want to go. So the wealthy mindset, the wealthy thinking, that wealthy thinker, right? As a wealthy thinker, I became that because I learned how to hyper focus on intentionality. Where am I going? Where do I see myself? How do I see myself getting there? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What's the language? What environment do I need to be in? I mean, literally down to every little detail. Down to every little detail. This is the truth. When my children and I have 4 children, y'all, two girls, 2 boys. When my children and I lived in an environment that was not the best, you could call it the hood, okay? When we lived in those environments, I would intentionally get in my car. Thankfully, I had the privilege to still have a car. And I would drive me and my children out of that environment into high-end, expensive, $1 million, $1 billion environments. I intentionally did it. Why? Because what I understood, even though our physical environment hadn't changed yet, I knew that in order for my children and myself and anything else, for our minds to shift, we needed to see something new. We needed to hear something new. We needed to experience something new, smell something new, taste something new, have a different conversation, behave differently than what the current environment we were in was behaving like. And so what does that mean? I just listed like 6, 7 things. That meant your life has to have an overhaul. You cannot expect change, new growth, elevation, blessings. You cannot expect those things. And I mean this. I'm telling you. You cannot expect to receive that type of stuff in your life. Down? Yeah. The question, he's working. That's what he's doing. Right? You cannot expect to see the shift in your life if you are not adjusting. Right? You have to pivot, you have to shift, and you have to turn away from distraction and focus on intention. So, October 1st, literally the first day of the month, y'all. We got 31 days in this month. 31 days in this month, right? What are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with it? I would encourage you guys, every last person up here, I want to encourage you to, hold on. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. All right. Right? I want you to write down. Listen, I do this. Two of my children are homeschooled. I have 4 children. One has already graduated. She graduated early. My other 2, one just made it into high school. One is in 11th grade. And then my little 2-year-old nugget, he's homeschooled, but obviously not in the same sense as his older siblings, right? These are things I even teach my children, but this is also stuff that I teach my clients, the students that sign up to my classes. We just finished a 4-day intensive, which by the way was amazing. I have a lot of feedback to share with you guys from that, but we're gonna focus on this right now, okay? What are you gonna do? You need to write down everything you want to do this month. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't be, just be simple. Go ahead, you can go to Riley. Go to Riley. Be very specific, have a clear vision, because the clearer you are, the faster you'll get to where you say you want to go. You want to go to Riley? Give me 1 second, y'all. Last thing I said was the clearer you are, the faster you will get to where you say you want to go. Now, as a mindset coach, I teach from 4 pillars: faith, focus, food, fitness. Faith, focus, food, fitness. Faith, focus, food, fitness. I'm touching on one of those pillars right now because the thing is this, y'all. There again, what I see happening, and this has been happening for a long time now. This is not new. But what I'm noticing, just because I'm an observant person, we are in a world right now where we have everything available to us, and yet more people than not don't even know how to take advantage of it. We live in a time, if you are an 80s baby, then you remember a time when we did not have the internet. And even if we had it, it wasn't what it is today. We didn't have social media, and even when we had it, it wasn't what it is today. Hey Keisha, welcome back to the live, right? It wasn't what it is today. We are not at a time where anybody has access to everybody. Everybody has access to anybody. That is the world we live in today. And depending on how you're focusing, depending on how you're framing your reality, will determine on how you get to interact with the truth of a thing, how you get to even view what's going on in your life. Like, yes, it was called dial-up. It was AOL. You had to have an Ethernet, you had to have a phone line, and at the time, you had to, most people had one designated area in their house where they had their desktop computer that was bulky, right? Where they could hook it up close to the phone because that's where the wiring was. You know, I shared with my children, I said we was wealthy. Now, me and my family, we weren't always wealthy, but we were wealthy. Tony says, thank you, I appreciate you. Amen. Yes, you have mail. Come on, right? I lived in a house. My father worked 2 jobs, went to school full time to get us out of the Bronx, living in a 2-bedroom Section 8 apartment as a family of 5. Me, my brother, and my sister, when we were younger, shared 1 bedroom, and it was the smaller bedroom of the house, of the apartment. Okay, we had a bunk bed, so we had 2 beds, and then we had a single bed on the side, and we had this, and I'm not exaggerating, we had this much walking space, like this, between the beds. Okay, and because we were young, you know, it clearly we were still able to make it work. My parents made it work, but it was this much space. And as little children, that was the home we grew up in for the first, I want to say the first 8 to 10 years of my life, before my father moved us out and moved his family out into our first home in Brooklyn, right? And then eventually that house, they kept that house, turned that into a multifamily, and then moved us into our suburban home in Long Island. We lived out there from my teenage years up. As an adult, I stayed out there, had all of my children in Long Island, right? And then eventually I moved out and my life shifted, and then I moved to a different state. This is the thing. Why am I sharing that? Because we lived in a house where my father worked to the place so he could get us somewhere so that we could actually afford for everybody to have a desktop in their rooms. You was doing something if you had a desktop in your room, okay? Now people literally walk around with computers in their hand. The phone is a computer. I can speak to as many people as possible with my phone right now because my phone is a computer. I'm not selling y'all no packages, so just pay attention. I don't have no, digital marketing packages to give you, okay? What I am stressing as a coach, what I am stressing is that people need to shift their perspective, and you need to change your focus on the things that are actually happening around you and stop creating a reality that alternates whether or not, based on how you feel. I share with people, I love the physics law, the law of polarity. I love that physics law because it lets us know that there's always two sides in existence at the same time, right? How does it go? It's always on the tip of my tongue, and then every time I go to say it, I forget exactly how it goes, and it's my favorite one. But basically, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. That's how it goes. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So there's an action, and then there's something equal and opposite at existence at the same time. That's what that means. And why I love that law, that physics law, but it's also a principle, and I'll break that down in a minute. The reason why I love it is because it lets us know that there's two sides to everything. If you've never seen a one-sided piece of paper, have you ever seen a one-sided piece of paper, y'all? Have you ever seen a one-sided piece of bread? Have you ever seen a one-sided pancake? Have you ever seen a one-sided anything? No. Right? Thank you, Keisha. No. Which lets you know that there are two sides to everything. So if you're struggling with a lot of negativity, guess what? On the opposite side, there is an equal and opposite in existence at the same time available for you to tap into. Most people don't tap into it because they're too wrapped up, intertwined, and anchored to that negative narrative that they have proven to themselves time and time and time again. The power of focus is whatever you focus on is what you get more of. That's not a worldly statement. We've heard it before, but so many people don't activate what they've heard. You hear it, so you have the head knowledge of it, but now you need to have the lived knowledge of it. This is the difference. People always say knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. The use of knowledge is power. You have to know what to do with the knowledge so that you can empower yourself to then go get your wealth. How do I know that that's a part of your birthright? Because God made it clear that it is his power that works through us to help. He says it is his power that works through us so that we can create wealth. And I only come up here to spend some of my time to hopefully encourage maybe only one person, maybe only two, right? I would hope that it's more than that, but you are wasting the breath of life that's been deposited and invested in you the moment you woke up. God gave us the assignment to wake up. He says, once you wake up, you got breath in your body. He says, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, subdue the earth. Be fruitful, produce something. Multiply, make more of it. Have dominion, take authority over your assignment because you already have it. Subdue, to trample over, to put under your feet. I know that my life changed drastically the moment I shifted my thinking. Now, when I shifted my thinking, I also had to make sure that my environment shifted with it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're in an environment where everybody around you is telling you that the way you're thinking is ridiculous, or telling you that the way you're thinking is not going to work, or telling you that it's impossible, or telling you that you can't, or telling you whatever negative statement, whatever limiting statement language that they're using to describe you or to speak to you, it is going to take a toll, because we also know that we are affected by the company we keep. But what I like to add to that statement is that you are not just affected, you are infected and influenced by the company you keep, by the environment that you're in, by the conversation you're having, by the way that you think, by the things that you do. But you are affected, infected, and influenced. And I want you to listen to those words. Let these words land on you. You are affected, infected, and influenced by the company you keep, the conversations you have, the language you speak, the behavior you act in. That is what's altering the reality that you see in front of you. There's two things that have been scientifically proven, and the more I read the Bible, the more I see the Bible in everything. When people speak about science, people really try to new age it. But the thing is, there's nothing new under the sun. The Bible has already given us access and information about what we are seeing right in front of us. But again, you might have the head knowledge of it, but if you're not doing anything with that information, how does that serve you? Right? So I'm reading this book right now. What is the title of it? I always forget the title of it. The Biology of Belief. I would encourage y'all to go read it as well. It was actually a new book. One of the commitments I gave myself was I was going to start a new read every month. So I'm going to read something every month, right? Now I do that